Imagine standing in the middle of a vast, rugged stretch of land in Utah, where the wind howls across dry earth, where the sun beats down on cracked soil, and where beneath your feet, hidden in the dark, a legendary treasure is said to lie buried. Gold worth billions, a secret from the Aztec Empire, a mystery that has haunted dreamers, historians, and treasure hunters for generations. That land is Blind Frog Ranch, and the man who became its most famous guardian, the man who dug until his body gave out, the man who turned his life into a relentless quest for something that might never be found, is Duane Ollinger. Duane, the star of Discovery Channel's Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch, died on June 1st, 2026, at the age of 68 after a battle with ALS, a disease that slowly stole his strength, but never stole his belief in the treasure that he had sworn to find. Duane Ollinger was born on July 26, 1957, in Dumas, Texas, a small town where the plains stretch for miles and the air is thick with the scent of dust and oil rigs, and where a young boy learns early that work is hard, that life is unpredictable, and that dreams require more than just hope. They require grit, risk, and the willingness to push when everyone else would quit. He grew up in a working-class family, where the name Ollinger was not famous but was known for reliability, for honesty, for the kind of quiet strength that comes from generations of people who worked with their hands, who built things, who risked things, who believed that the earth had secrets worth uncovering if you were willing to dig for them. From an early age, Duane was fascinated by the idea of treasure, not just money, but the kind of treasure that changes a life, that changes a family, that changes the way people see the world, that makes them believe that there is something more than what you can see with your eyes. He went to work in the oil industry, first as a hand, then as a contractor, then as the owner of a high-risk oil contracting business in Amarillo, Texas, where he built a fortune by taking on the jobs that others didn't want, by drilling in the places that others avoided, by working in the conditions that others found too dangerous. Duane was not afraid of risk, he was not afraid of the unknown, and he was not afraid to bet on himself, even when the odds were stacked against him. He made millions, he sold his company, and then he did something that shocked even his closest friends. He turned away from the certainty of oil money, from the security of a business that worked, from the comfort of a life that was already successful, and he went after something that no one could prove existed, something that no one could guarantee he would find, something that no one could tell him was real, except his own belief and the story of an Aztec treasure that was said to be buried beneath the earth, waiting for someone bold enough to dig. He purchased the 160-acre Blind Frog Ranch in Utah, along with other investors, and he became the majority owner, holding 66% of the property, the land that would become the setting for his life's work, the stage for his obsession, the place where he would spend the rest of his days digging, searching, believing, hoping, and never giving up. The ranch was remote, rugged, and beautiful, a place where the sky stretched for miles, where the wind never stopped, where the earth was dry and hard, but where beneath the ground, Duane believed there was a system of underground caverns that led to a secret chamber filled with gold, with jewelry, with the riches of a lost civilization, a treasure worth billions of dollars, a treasure that would change everything if only he could find it. Duane's wife, Sherry Ollinger, was his partner in this quest, a woman who quit her job to focus on the ranch with him, who believed in him, who dug with him, who worked with him, who stood beside him when the world said he was chasing a dream that would never come true, who never left him, who never gave up on him, who never stopped believing that the treasure was real and that Duane would find it. Together, they built a life that was not about luxury, but about purpose, not about comfort, but about meaning, not about what they owned, but about what they were searching for, what they were building, what they were becoming. They had 2 children, a son named Chad, who sold his crop dusting business and family home to help fund his father's operation, and a daughter named Tara, who grew up watching her father dig, who grew up hearing the stories of the treasure, who grew up knowing that her father was not just digging for gold. He was digging for something that mattered to him more than anything else in the world. Chad Ollinger, Duane's son, became a part of the story, appearing alongside his father on Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch, a Discovery Channel series that brought the search for the treasure into the living rooms of millions of people, that made the ranch famous, that made Duane a household name, that made the Aztec treasure a real story, not just a legend, not just a myth, but something that people could see, could hear, could feel, could believe in. Duane made money from the show, from ranch tours, from VIP season passes that cost $49, from merchandise from the ranch itself, which was listed for sale in 2021 at $22.159 million. But he never stopped digging, never stopped searching, never stopped believing that the treasure was there, that it was real, that it was worth everything he had spent, everything he had risked, everything he had given up to find it. Duane's net worth was estimated to be around $10 million, a figure that reflected his career as an oil contractor, his ownership of the ranch, his television appearances, and the tours of merchandise that he sold. But the number never mattered to him, never defined him, never measured what he was doing, never measured what he believed in, never measured the life he was living, the family he was building, the legacy he was creating. His lifestyle was one of quiet, relentless purpose, of a man who lived between Texas and Utah, between the ranch and the city, between the past and the future, between the certainty of what he had and the hope of what he might find, between the world that he had built and the world that he was searching for. In recent years, Duane began to show signs of illness, and fans of the show began to worry, and rumors began to circulate that he had had a stroke before the season began, that he was going to have a heart attack in the next episode. But no one knew the truth. No one knew the diagnosis. No one knew the disease that was slowly taking his strength, that was slowly taking his voice, that was slowly taking his ability to dig. It was ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a progressive neurodegenerative disease that steals movement, that steals speech, that steals life, that does not stop, that does not slow down, that does not give you a chance to say goodbye, to say thank you, to say I love you, to say I'm sorry, to say it was worth it. Duane Ollinger died on June 1st, 2026 at a hospital in Texas. Not at the ranch, not in the dirt, not with the shovel in his hand, but in the quiet of a hospital room, surrounded by the people who loved him, by his wife Sherry, by his son Chad, by his daughter Tara, by the family that had never left him, by the family that had never stopped believing in him, by the family that had never stopped believing in the treasure. He was 68 years old, a man who had lived a life that was not defined by what he had, but by what he had searched for, what he had been willing to risk, what he had been willing to believe in, what he had been willing to give up to find something that might never be found, something that might never be proven, something that might never be real except in his heart. If Duane's story, the image of a man who dug until his body gave out, who believed in something that no one else could see, who gave his life to a search that might never end, who loved his family, who loved his work, who loved the mystery, who loved the possibility, who loved the hope, who loved the dream, moved you, then please consider giving this video a like and sharing it with someone who might need a reminder that the most important things in life are not what you own, not what you find, not what you achieve, but what you believe in, what you're willing to search for, what you're willing to give your life to, what you're willing to search for until the very end. If you want to stay connected to stories like this one, stories of people who have left their lives behind in the quiet corners of the ranch, the stage, the screen, the page, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode.